not here.
You don't like the term hyperdrive. Okay.
I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem. I don't think hyperdrive.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market,
no,
like
Star Wars is just light speed.
Andy, true or false? This is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think this is going to be very ugly. Dog walking.
No, we're talking about
ugly.
The actual term hyperdrive. I don't think that's from Star Wars. I think Star Wars, they just say we're going to make the shift to light speed. I don't think they say hyperdrive.
Yeah, you're right.
You have a Star Wars poster behind you and you didn't know that? You have two people battling lightsabers behind you.
One of them.
I wasn't disagreeing with you. It was just, I didn't say that it was from Star Wars.
Chris is here.
All right. All right. Listen, I think I was wrong. That's why I didn't even begin to argue.
You were wrong.
No, Kyle's right.
Hopefully that's the only time I'm wrong today, baby. Let's go.
I don't know what hyperdrive is from, but it's not from Star Wars. Star Wars is just light speed.
Under yesterday?
All right. What's up, everybody? Hope you're all having a nice
Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Hope you're all having a nice wow. No, hope you're all having a nice Wednesday. Hope you all had a nice Tuesday night. I had a good one. I went 3-1 with the bets I posted. 4-1. I kept bet West Virginia money line as well, but I forgot to post that on the site, so unfortunately I can't count that on the record. But I did bet it and win. I got kind of lucky though. In sports betting, you'll hear a lot of people, and everyone's guilty of this. Me, literally everyone. When you have a bad day and you should have had a good day, you'll say it, right? Like I went 2-4, but I should have went 4-2, right? We all do it. But when you had a good day and you probably should have had a bad day, you won't mention it. And I think I'm guilty of that because my picks from yesterday weren't all that great. So I'm considering myself fortunate to have gone 3-1 because I like the Rockets, didn't bet it, that would have lost. I like the Hawks team total under, didn't bet it, that would have lost. So I dodged some bullets yesterday. I'm happy to have come out in the green when my picks as a whole weren't all that great yesterday. So let's keep the positivity rolling. NBA's been going pretty solid for me recently. And we'll start out Utah on the road in D.C. Jesus. Nobody's playing for the Jazz. Could be a sensible spot. I mean, you guys know, I believe I'm 3 for 3. Every time I bet sensible over points, he's come through for me. I wait specifically to play that. The reason I've stumbled onto the sensible play is I was on, I think it was Fantasy Labs or one of those DFF sites, and I was looking at usage rates with on-off splits, and for whatever reason, when people are off the court for Utah, sensible just always has the ball in his hands. So that's how I stumbled on that, and obviously it's been good. I've hit it every time. I really would like to see Keontae George out. He's listed as questionable. If Keontae George is out, I don't see any reason not to hit sensible over 16.5 points. I don't have it bet, but this is a pass for me. If you're asking, Kyle, what would you bet? I would probably just take sensibles over again.
Go ahead, Beaver.
Yeah, I'm on Filipowski over rebounds and assists here. I'll pretty much take anybody with a pulse to rebound and assist over against the Washington Wizards, especially when Alexander Sarr is on the court. So that's it right there. I mean, I could go a bit deeper into it real quick. Let me go ahead and pull this up. So Filipowski, if you look at the minutes, he's now hit 26 plus in 4 straight games without Kessler, averaging 33 during that span without Markkanen on the court in 22 plus minutes. He's now gone over the totals last 4-6. He's averaging 15.3 rebounds and assists. Not only do we not have Markkanen on the court, we have no Markkanen, we got no Kessler, we got no Collins, and we're going to face a Wizards team that the Jazz are just 5-point dogs to. We've now seen the Wizards allow the last 22 of 35 centers they've faced over the mark. Last 15 games, they've allowed the 6th most rebounds per game, 7th most assists per game to the center position. I mean, you could get this at plus 100 right now on FanDuel. I was able to get this at 12.5 for minus 130. It was a slightly better hit rate, but simply put, I mean, Filipowski has been doing numbers both in the rebound and the assist department. And on top of that, Keontae George also added to the questionable list as well. So I think he's going to be able to play make along with racking up those boards. I don't really know how much more simply to put it than everybody and their mother does numbies on the glass against the Wizards. I see no reason why Philip over here can't do so as well. So there we go.
Someone said $48 a month for a subscription. Good Lord. Don't get that. The YouTube subscription is not up and running. I'm trying to get that up and running. And it would be the same price as the website. But the YouTube subscription is not. I'm trying to set up push notifications, but go ahead, Modi.
I'm on a very similar play. I have Filipowski double-double. The odds right now, I mean, I got it at plus 125, or sorry, plus 130. Then it went to plus 120 in like 10 minutes. Right now it's minus 110. So like you're getting a pretty worse price on the number than when I got it at. I don't know if I would still hit it at minus 110, if I'm being honest with everybody. I don't hate the RA look from Prop Beaver. I'd probably rather take that at plus 100 at this point. I mean, it's a all-you-can-eat buffet. However you want it, you can get it. Again, it's Jared Armstrong's wife. However you want it, you can get it with this play with Filipowski and the Utah Jazz. Because like Beaver said, everybody's out. So I wouldn't recommend the Filipowski at minus 110. So I would probably pivot to, honestly, that RA look is good.
So someone asked about it, the YouTube subscription. Right now it's not integrated. It's going to be integrated with the Discord and the website where you can sign up on YouTube or the website or Discord, and it all leads to the same thing. So that's what I'm working on. I probably shouldn't even have it up because I'm still working on getting it. If I have the YouTube subscription included, then I can also send push notifications to you via the YouTube app. So that's what I'm working on. It's just not running right now. So if you purchase the YouTube the thing right now, I would have to like go contact you and manually add you into the Discord. It's all going to be automatic when it's functioning. So as of right now, don't even worry about that. Chris?
Automatically function to the next game, Cal. I'm not betting against these two Tankathon type teams.
All right. Next. What's next? Oh, Minnesota, Charlotte. Okay, so total's now up to 225.5. There are so many patterns here pointing towards an under. I mean, you got Minnesota against bad offense. You know what? I'll just read you off the exact patterns because I have them all right here to give you an idea. 1 second. Minnesota against bad offenses, 1-5 to the under against bottom 5 offenses. The Hornets are 30th. They're dead last in the last 10 games. 5-11 to the under against bottom 10. And then you got the Hornets against good defenses, all under. There's so many trends pointing towards an under here. Yet the total's gone up to 225.5. And I think the reason for that is, so you could put up under, because that would be my bet in this game. I don't have a bet on it. I think the reason the market's buying this one up is there's one area for both offenses where they should have an advantage, and it's three-point shooting. Minnesota's been taking a lot of threes. Charlotte can't defend the three-point line. Charlotte, not that they've been a good three-point shooting team. This is the wrong game.
Up.
Not that Charlotte's been a good three-point shooting team, but with LaMelo Ball on the floor, I mean, Bridges can shoot the three. They have players that can shoot the three-point shot. Minnesota's weakness defensively has been the three-point line. So it's tough to pull the trigger on an under knowing the area where each offense has an advantage is the three-point line. Obviously, as you know, if you've been betting NBA, an under game can quickly get up and over the total if teams are making their threes. So I haven't pulled the trigger on it, but up now at 225, 226, I do think the under is the play, even though the market disagrees. This is probably the bet I have in the chamber. Like if I was to add one more bet, it would probably be this one.
I didn't bet this one. The look I would go with is LaMelo Ball points. It's really just a fade of recent results. I mean, he really has not been scoring well recently. You can get 25 plus for plus 100, which I think is pretty good. I mean, if you would have told yourself that at the beginning of the year that you would get plus money for him to score 25 points, you think that's crazy. Granted, like he's gone under this number in like, if you look at his last 10 games, 4 of 10 he's gone over. In 2 of those games, he scored exactly 25 points. So I get why the line is the way it is. It's just hard for me to believe that he's going to continue to have such a low usage rate or shoot as bad as he's been shooting. The Minnesota defense is obviously good, but they can get beat up by guys like him that can score from outside. That's like where they're the weakest, is the pick and roll ball handler. So I didn't bet it because I honestly thought there were better plays on the board, but the 25 plus for him, just if you're just strictly reading like, I guess not even if you're strictly trying to go off of positive regression type of stuff, this would be a play. But yeah, I thought there's better stuff on the board.
Someone says, if you're not going to bet it, don't talk about it. That's literally the show. This isn't for people looking to blindly tail bets. This is for people that are building their own tickets. So if you're just looking to blindly tail bets, go find a different show. Chris?
Man, that's a funny comment. Yeah, I'm right there with you, guys. I like under. I think potential first half under. Kyle, I know you're not a big first half guy, but so let's start with your full game under, right? So a couple things that you didn't mention. For Minnesota, this is 5th game in 7 nights. Teams playing 5th game in 7 nights are 58% to the under this season. But if they had to travel, right? So your previous site does not equal your current site. 7-1-1 to the under. We know Charlotte goes under at home, but here's what I was considering, Kyle. I was considering a first half under, and it's predicated on the Hornets being probably the worst offense in the NBA at home, specifically when they're a dog. They're 21-5-1 to the under in the first half as a home dog. And the Timberwolves on the opposite side as a road favorite, 14-7 to the under as well in the first half specifically. So the number is shaded because the the Hornets team total for the first half is like 51.5, but their full game team total is 107.5. So the books are expecting them to score fewer points in the first half, which makes sense because that's why the number's lower, and then score a little bit more in the second half. But at 226, Kyle, I'm only looking towards the under. I haven't bet it yet either, but this is the one that's in the chamber for myself as well. 226 I see on the board right now. I think I might get there.
All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is Portland, Boston. It's tough with the injuries. I mean, I would imagine this line sitting at 9.5. I would imagine one of Brown or Tatum is going to sit. They're both currently listed as questionable. If they both play, I would have this one probably like 12.5. So the fact that it's at 9.5, pretty comfortable saying one of those guys is going to sit, which puts us in a tough spot. I mean, Portland's been playing well, but the thing is, I kind of think that Portland Trailblazer magic is going to come to a close at some point. What I was looking at for this one is, so Portland's been attacking the paint a lot. They've been scoring a lot on the interior. They're top 5 or top 10 in shot frequency in the paint in the last 5 games, the last 10 games. So Portland's been attacking the interior a lot, and they're having some success doing it. It hasn't been great, but they've been somewhat successful attacking the paint against these teams. Here's the thing. If you look at the teams they played, I mean, you got Philadelphia, Washington. So you got injured teams in there. You do have Cleveland in there, but you got the Jazz injured, the Hornets in there injured. So they've played a lot of injured teams, a lot of bad teams. Boston, if they're healthy, which again they're really not, this is not a team that you're just going to walk in and score on at the rim. And even their numbers are skewed a little bit. If you look at the Boston defensive numbers, you might say, oh, the Celtics defense is slumping a little bit. Well, in their last 5 games, they played the Knicks, the Cavs, and the Nuggets. That's 3 top 5 offenses there. There's a lot of defenses whose numbers are going to look a little shaky over the last 5 when you've played 3 of those games against top 5 offenses. So I think the Celtics win comfortably, but with Tatum and Brown listed as questionable, if you tell me right now I can get 9.5 and both Tatum and Brown are playing, I'll bet Boston. But as of right now, you can just put Boston up as a.
Yeah, I need to wait on the injury report with this one. With when Jeremy Grant misses, the pivot would be Denny Avdia. A lot of times it's just PRA, just like added everything for him. For this specific matchup, I actually like the rebounds for Avdia. Last time that Grant missed, and then this is also continuing with Ayton and Robert Williams out as well. He only had 6 rebounds in that game. That was against the Sixers. He had 18 rebound chances in that game. Like, there's no way he's going to have that bad of a conversion rate on his rebound chances. The game before that, he had another 18 rebound chances. He had 12 rebounds in that game. That was on the second half of that was on the front end of a back-to-back. So it was 2 straight games where he had 18 rebound chances. The one game with all 3 of those guys out that he didn't hit this number was against the Nuggets. He only had 5 rebounds, 9 rebound chances. Just a tough game there. But the game before that, he had 12. So if Jeremy Grant misses, the obvious pivot would be Denny Avdia rebounds. But if he plays, it's not a play. So like, I need to know if he's playing or not. Hopefully the odds don't change too much. Like, they're pricing it in like they think that Grant is going to miss. So that's probably where I would lean. It's over 6.5 at plus 105 odds at DraftKings. Normally he's like 4.5 or 5.5 with Jeremy Grant in. So if you want to lock that in hopes that like the line doesn't move, if you want to lock that in hopes that like the line does move and he gets ruled out, you can. But personally, I'm waiting.
Jay in the comments said there's a reason Kyle doesn't post his season wins and losses. Actually, you can see every bet I've placed for the last 4 years on the website, so it is most definitely posted publicly. Good comment,
People
though.
are
Chris.
People are not in the mood today.
Good chirp, Greg.
No, just go find something else to do. Like walk your dog.
Well,
or
I mean,
like-
that's common. People like I could be the best handicapper in the world. If I had 2 losing months, people would say the same. That they just don't understand. Like there's losing months, losing seasons. It's all part of it. It does. So that they're just going to say that it's part of it. But I mean, like I can't have a show with a big following and not expect that. So it's all part of it. Chris.
This game, Kyle, as much as I want to be with you on Boston minus 12.5, I kind of feel like some of those guys are gonna miss. You didn't even mention. I know you mentioned Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but Jrue Holiday, Porzingis, like they haven't been rolled out yet. But I don't think that they're going to play. A lot of what Portland has done recently, though, to your point, Kyle, Boston does not like they get back in transition. Portland been scoring a lot in transition, playing a little bit faster. So as much as I would want to take and I am more Portland plus the points versus laying the points with Boston because I think the injuries are I think that they are a couple of those guys are going to miss. So what I came to was like let's play the under, right? Because Boston offense may struggle a little bit. Portland top 10 defensive rated team. Portland offense I'm expecting to struggle. Boston playing at the second slowest pace over the last 5 games. Then I look at the total and I'm like, that's not high enough. Like I'm not playing an under at 225. Like you think it under?
I mean, like I understand why you would lean towards an under. I don't hate the under. I mean, both teams defensively should match up well against the opposing offense. It's just Portland's been playing such a fast pace. It's like
that's my point. That was the last thing I was gonna say. Portland playing at what? They playing at the 8th fastest pace over the last 5 games, so I couldn't get there on the under either. I'll talk player prop. Al Horford under his 17.5 points and rebounds. This one is also loaded in the chamber. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Kind of want to see what happens with the injury report. If Porzingis officially gets rolled out, the number goes up, then I probably end up taking it. But Al Horford under his 17.5 points. We are getting a couple inflated numbers. I'm going to talk about another one in another game still to come. But Horford number gets a little bit inflated because of the Porzingis probably won't play. So at 17.5 points and rebounds, he's under his 75% of his 48 games that he's played so far this season. With Porzingis on the floor, you expect the number to get a lot. Without Porzingis on the floor, you expect the number to get a lot better. He's cashed in over 17.5 in just 27% of his 22 games without Porzingis this season. Then you get into the matchup. Horford, I mean, all he does is stand around and shoot spot-up shots, right? About 50% of his points come via above the break 3, where Portland is actually top 10 defensively. Without Porzingis in games versus teams that are top half of the league against the spot-up shot, which is where Horford gets his points, he's under in 10 of his 12 games, averaging just 14 points plus rebounds. So I think we got an inflated number with Al Horford today, and I'll be looking to take his under points plus rebounds at 17.5.
Next. Jared reported his boss to HR. Glad to hear it, man. Miami. He said it, dude. He said, I reported my boss to HR. The market hates my bet here. Hates it. The line, the total's in a free fall. It's now down to 222. I got over 226.5. So terrible bet incoming here. I'm on the over, and I got it 4 points off market. Just a horrible bet. Don't care. The market disagreed with my Spurs pick last night as well. I still think it's the right side. I don't really understand the action that's buying it down. Maybe the Tyler
Hero.
Yeah, but 4 points. My bet wasn't necessarily on the scoring. It was on the pace of the game. Maybe Tyler Hero being listed as questionable is a reason this line dropped. This total dropped. I don't really understand where. I mean, we've seen this Cleveland Cavs team. They score a ton of points, right? Defense is not always at the top of the priority list, although they've been playing pretty decent defense as of late. On the season, on 0 days rest, first of all, Cleveland's 7-5, I believe, against the spread. So Cleveland has still been profitable on 0 days rest, but they're 9-3 to the over in those 0 days rest spots. So the offense is going to be there for Cleveland. Miami played one good defensive game against Washington. The 10 games before the Wizards game, this Heat defense has been in a situation. So I don't trust the Heat defense. I still trust the Cavs offense, even on 0 days rest. I mean, a total of 222 in a Cavs game is kind of crazy if you've seen Cleveland play basketball this year. So I guess they're expecting Miami to not score at all. But this Heat offense has been pretty good recently. It's the Heat defense that's disappointed. So yeah, I even though the market strongly disagrees with me, seems like the sharp action is definitely against me. I'm on the over here. I think Cleveland could score 120 on their own. So
I took Davion Mitchell PRA in this one. I took him over. So I got this number at 14.5. Right now it's 17.5. I was able to lock it in before there was any injury news on Tyler Hero. Like that was not part of my rationale. Was thinking that Tyler Hero would miss. So obviously you're getting a way different number. But if it's not Spida, it's Davion Mitchell. I don't know what
I blanked there.
What
Sorry.
a baby spider is.
That was a bit of a casual move right there. Sorry.
It's all good. It happens. Honestly, I still like it at 17.5. Obviously, you have to accept that you're getting a way worse number than what it was, but he's hit this over in 5 of 8 games as a member of the Miami Heat. You look at games specifically without Andrew Wiggins and on the Heat, and that was the main thing, was that Wiggins is out. He's gotten over 20 PRA in both of those games. Now, obviously, 2-game sample size is tiny. He's played 37 minutes in both those games. And what I like is that he stays on the floor. Like his defense keeps him on the floor. Really good guard defender. He's played 30 plus minutes in every single game except for 2 as a member of the Heat. His first game, he only played 23. And then another game, he only played 24. But every other game, again, he played 30 or more. Another person who's out is, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I call him Kal-El Ware, mostly because Kal-El is the name of Superman. That's his Kryptonian name. Obviously, everybody knows that. So Kal-El Ware is also out. Tyler Hero is questionable. So just expecting added everything for Davion Mitchell. And if you look at the 2 games that, again, he's played with the Heat without Andrew Wiggins, he's hit his over point prop, his over assist prop, and his over rebound prop, all 3 of them separately. So I just combined them all into his PRA and took the over. Big Davy. Yep, that's what everybody calls him.
Mm-hmm. Big Davy. That's Davion Mitchell, for those of you who don't know who Big Davy is. Chris?
Never called that man Big Davy. Never planned on doing that.
Never heard him called Big Davy ever.
I like that a lot. I'm going to start doing that.
Yep.
All right,
Makes sense.
Chris?
So, I literally bet the over this morning, probably 2 minutes before the news came out that Tyler Hero wasn't going to play. So I got 225 and love the bet. Like you said, I got a lot of things to support it. I did see that that Wiggins got upgraded. He was doubtful yesterday and upgraded to questionable. That helps because that's about 18 points that you can get, hopefully from him. And like you mentioned, Cavs still just really, really fast. I had in my notes the 9-3 to the over that you talked about, Kyle. Actually, a perfect 4 note to the over if they're unrested traveling from road to home as well. Cavs at home with a total below 228, 6-2 to the over. They played 4 straight overs in this spot, 3-1 to the over if they're double-digit home favorites. While being unrested, they're also 10-6 to the over, playing the 4th game in 6 nights. So typically, the fatigue does not set in with their offense. 5-2 to the over if they're playing 4th game in 6 nights at home. Heat on the road with a total of 225 or higher or lower, 4-1 to the over. And then some pace stuff, Kyle, because we know the Heat play super slow. I think they're bottom 3 in pace over the full season. So the Heat, check this out, Kyle. Heat against teams that run at a pace that's above 100, because we know Cavs are top 10 in pace, average a shade under 231 points. And then the Cavs on the opposite side, they're 9-4 to the over if they're playing against a team that plays at a pace below 97. So, yeah, I like the over. For what it's worth, both games went up and over the total earlier this season as well. They both cleared 225. So I got a 225. Hopefully Tyler Hero plays and we get up and over the number.
Next.
I like an Evan Mobley under, by the way. I'm just waiting for an inevitable Darius Garland / Donovan Mitchell's questionable. If that doesn't happen in the next 2 hours, we'll be playing a Mobley under.
Next. Dallas, Milwaukee. I took the Bucks here, got it at -9.5. I mean, just a pure fade of the current state of the Dallas Mavericks. There's definitely a lot of uncertainty here with this one. Obviously, you add the Kyrie injury to the already just decimated Dallas Mavericks roster. This is crazy. I mean, it's not just Kyrie Irving and PJ Washington and Anthony Davis. You got all kind. You got Caleb Martin on here, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, Hardy, You got Dante Exum on there. Kai Jones is listed as questionable. I don't even know who's going to be getting the minutes. Like, I think Dallas is going to need Maxence Prosper to play a serious role in tonight's game. This could be a flat spot for Milwaukee, a team they just beat up on, a team that's really doesn't pose any threat at all with the roster they're rolling out there. Milwaukee does have a more important game on deck in Orlando, but they have 2 full days off in between now and then. If you didn't get in on the 9.5 when I posted it last night, maybe wait and see, make sure Giannis and Lillard are both going to play. They are listed as probable. I don't see any reason to try to get cute and take Dallas here. But yeah, I'm on Milwaukee minus 9.5. If you didn't get the 9.5 though, maybe just wait it out. I don't think there's any reason to try to take an 11 with Giannis and Dame both listed as probable. So
yeah, pass. I didn't bet anything in this game, even from a prop perspective. I want no part of it.
Chris,
I kind of want to play Klay under. I just feel like without like a main ball handler, I mean, I guess they have Spencer Dinwiddie, but he don't move the needle for me. And it feels like Klay is going to be impacted most by like out of all of the Dallas Mavericks role players. I feel like he's going to be, affected the most. So under 17.5 for Klay. He's under in 19 of his 24 games this season, about 80% in games where he's playing against teams that are top half of the league in spot up defense, which we know all he wants to do is shoot a bunch of threes. Milwaukee actually ranks 9th against spot up shots. On the road, he's only over in 3 of his 10 games this season against top half of the league teams in spot up defense, so even worse. And then you start thinking about no Kyrie. Klay's under in 7 of his 9 games without Kyrie. Without Luka, he's under in 24 of his 33 games, averaging just 13 points per game, 72.7% hit rate, and over in just 3 of his 16 games without Luka on the road as well. Then you throw both of them in there. It's only been a handful, but he's played in 3 games without Luka and Kyrie. He's averaging 9 points. So the idea that he's going to get to 18, I don't think so. As long as Milwaukee's guarding the 3-point line, I think this is an early blowout, and then Klay's just kind of sitting on the sideline. So I like under for Mr. Klay Thompson.
I like that. I like that quite a bit. I mean, this is a guy that cannot create his own shot to save his fucking life. I love that.
DMP Don't Fade Me says, Kyle, you had a 3-1 or 4-1 day yesterday. Cheer up, bro. No laughing, no jokes. You seem depressed. My bad if I'm coming off with depressed. I'm in high spirits. Things are going well.
We've been talking about the whole Jared situation.
Really you know what? It's Jared. It's Jared in the comments has got me down. Thoughts and prayers go out to him.
Yeah. We just want to see our guy happy.
Mode passed in that one. Sacramento, Denver. I want to take the Nuggets here.
Look at the most recent comment.
I don't even see it.
I haven't had sex in months. Commented by Jared Armstrong. I mean, come on, Jared.
So Sacramento, Denver. I kind of want to take Denver here. I know a lot of people probably see this one and think it's a sketchy line. I get it. Nuggets haven't looked all that good out of the All-Star break. Not to mention the Kings have played Denver twice. Tough. Single-digit games. Both times Sacramento saw Denver. So it's not that – I don't think the line's sketchy. The line's about right. In fact, if this was 9.5, where a lot of people probably think the line should be, I would probably be looking towards the Kings. I obviously can't place the bet with Jokic and Aaron Gordon listed as questionable, especially against a Kings team that's been rebounding the ball really well. Even without Sabonis, they still got Valanciunas out there now. Kings are a good rebounding team. So if Aaron Gordon or Jokic isn't going to play, I don't want any parts of it. You just put Denver up. I mean, with such huge injury question marks, it almost seems like a waste of time to really take a deep dive into the matchup and then have them be rolled out. Then it's like everything I just said was irrelevant. So, I lean towards Denver, not betting this one with the 2 big injury question marks.
Go ahead, Beaver.
Now you go ahead. Because I'm
all right, I will go ahead. All right, I have 2 plays in this one, so I'll try not go as long. First one is Nikola Jokic triple-double. He's played 2 games against the Kings this year. He has a triple-double in both of those games. Plus 105 is the best price right now at BetMGM. I got plus 105, so no issues at that price. The assists in those 2 games, he had 13 and 17. The rebounds in those 2 games, 14 and 22.
Be right back.
Annihilated.
He's taking a piss or real.
Oh, okay. He annihilated both his assists and his rebounds in that game, at least to get a triple-double. And especially the assists. Like, there are not many guys, obviously, in the league that can play make like center. There are really only 3 playmaking centers in the league. Obviously, none of them are as good as Jokic, but one of them plays for the Kings, so Sabonis can't play his own team. But of the 4, and this is Şengün and Jokic, they both played the Kings twice. All 4 times they have hit their assist prop over. So it's a thing. The Kings are definitely an assist team. And you look at the play types in which they're weak, it all leads to assists. So Jokic triple-double, I love. I also took Valanciunas, and I took him on the rebounds plus assists. Now, I don't think that the line moved that much on this one. I got 13.5. Right now, you can still get 13.5. It's at minus 125, so it's a little bit of a worse price. This is, excuse me. This is just a play on expected minutes. Obviously, no Sabonis. It's only been 2 games since Sabonis got hurt, but in those 2 games, Joe Val played 30 and 23 minutes. He only went over 13.5 RA in one of those games, but the game he missed, he had 18 rebound chances, only got 9 rebounds. In the other game, 14 rebounds on 23 rebound chances. If you're looking at games in which he's played 23 minutes, which this does go back to his Wizards days this year, over an 8 of 13. And I love the matchup. The Nuggets are a good matchup for center, both rebound and assist props. So I combine them into the RA.
All righty, there we go. Cannot confirm or deny, Helms, whether there's explosive diarrhea on the chair or not. We'll just have to get back to that later. I saw somebody call the Jokic shoes the Peppa Pigs, the Peppa Steppas. Absolutely love that. That's a hell of a nickname right there. And then I saw Swish mentioned in the comments that the Nuggets allow hella assists and that he likes DeRozan over assists tonight. I'm on the same wave, my friend. I put DeRozan over 4.5 assists earlier in the Discord, got that for a full unit, but I also played 6+ assists for a half a unit. The 4.5 is at like minus 150 right now. I probably still wouldn't play that, but you can still get the 6+ and plus 142 on DK. Still like that quite a bit. I mean, DeRozan's a guy you want to bet on the road, not only in terms of scoring, but in terms of passing the ball as well. If we look without Fox this season, he's over 5.5. His last 6 and 9 on the road. He's averaging 6 assists per game in those spots. And Sabonis is out for this one. If you look, 2 games without him this season, he has 10+ potential assists in each. And we've got Malik Monk also out for this one, further boosting our potentials here. With just 8+ potential assists against bottom 10 defense and assists per game allowed, 4-1 to both lines this season, averaging 6.6 assists per game. What was the lone miss against? Yes, the same Denver Nuggets, but that came at home, and it was with both Fox and Monk active, so I'm not really tripping about that one. He's over 5.5 in 13 to 20 going back to last year with just 9+ potential assists on the road, and we've seen similar players have a ton of success racking up the assists lately against Denver. I mean, if you look at the last 30 days, this is a Denver team that's allowed the 4th most assists per game to the small forward position. We've recently seen Jason Tatum with 7, Jaylen Brown with 8, Giannis with 7, Miles Bridges with 7, Denny Avdia with 8. These guys had no problem clearing their individual marks and then some, hitting their ladder marks as well. So I think there's a lot of meat on the bone still. If you didn't catch that 4.5, want to hit the 6+ as well at that plus 140. Let's get climbing here, folks. Let's hit a step stool for once.
All right, we got 2 games remaining before college basketball.
Oh no, well, Chris, what do you like in this game, my friend?
Nothing really, probably. Just what Cal said. I kind of lean Denver way, but without the injuries, with all the injuries, who knows? I kind of feel like what Cal didn't mention about Sacramento is their strength of schedule. Like I know they got an impressive win in Houston the other day. Like that was pretty cool, but like when you think about how easy their strength of schedule has been, and then you add in no Sabonis and no Monk, like I think the offense takes a hit. Denver back at home where they've covered 8 of their last 10 games. I think Denver's the right side as well. I just need those guys in. So I agree with Cal there.
Yeah, I agree. And Sacramento's strength of schedule is definitely worth mentioning. They played shit. Let's move on to the next one. This one, I mean, you don't even need. If someone asked me, Kyle, paint me an NBA matchup where there's 290 points scored, it's this one. I mean, Memphis defense has fallen off a cliff. Their last 8 games, they can't stop anybody. They're 0-7-1 against the spread solely because of the defense. They're still a top 5 offense and 0-7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games. That's how bad the Grizzlies defense has been against Oklahoma City, maybe the best offense in the NBA, who also has a habit of just turning games into a shootout. I got this at 247.5. It's now at 252.5. I honestly still don't even think it's done climbing. Yeah, I mean, on paper, this game, we should see 260 points scored in the game. This is the matchup that'll make people that hate the NBA be like, the NBA is so dumb. Is this matchup right here? Because it's going to be 141-140. Give me the over.
I'm taking a player prop under. Ja Morant under his point prop. These odds have gotten nuked. When I locked it in, it was 24.5 at -110 towards the under. Right now, the best price is either 22.5 at like -116, so or -118 on FanDuel. So the odds have gotten nuked towards his under, and I get it. Like I get why it's scary because it's a super high total. This is the worst matchup you could possibly think of for Ja Morant. He scores 40% of his points in the restricted area. The Thunder have the second best restricted area defense in the NBA. He scores 2/3 of his points in the paint. The Thunder have the number 1 paint defense in the NBA. In terms of play type, number 1 for Ja Morant is transition. Even though they play at a really fast pace, the Thunder do, they have really, really good transition defense. Second best at limiting transition points. Pick and roll ball handler, 4th fewest points allowed. Isolation, 2nd fewest points allowed. And you look at Ja Morant, like I get that there's no Jaren Jackson Jr. It's only been 2 games this year, so we don't really have a ton of data to go off of. He's gone under in both of those games, or excuse me, in one of those 2 games, it was under 24.5. So if you're getting 22.5, it's under in one of 2. But the matchups were against the Rockets, who have a decent defense, but don't guard guards that well, and the Jazz, who are the worst transition defense in the NBA. So 2 pretty good matchups. And then he played the Thunder one time this year. Granted, yes, Jaren Jackson Jr. played in that game. He scored 16 points in the game, and he played 36 minutes. So I'm just not seeing any points for Ja Morant in this one. If you don't like the under because that scares you, I honestly think his RA could go over. He went over that in the first game these 2 teams played, again, with Jaren Jackson Jr. But as good as the Thunder defense is at stopping guys like him, they allow a lot of guard rebounds and a lot of guard assists. So I was more confident in the under, which is why I played it. But if you want to pivot, now that the odds have gotten so nuked, the RA over is a nice pivot.
Chris?
Agree with everything you said, Cal, about the over. Didn't play it, though. I think if I had to play right now, it'd probably be just the OKC team total over. For whatever reason, I know OKC's defense has not been great. But when they play Memphis, they for whatever reason, they play defense. 7-2-1 to the under last 10. And Memphis has scored 106 points and I think 112 points in the 2 games. Yeah, 106 and 112 in the 2 games that they played. OKC has reached 130 pretty much in they've reached 130 in every game since the All-Star break. The 2 times that they didn't, they scored 128 and 129. So I think that they have they can score 135, 140, and I would probably isolate it just to that. I also think that they cover and win the game. I don't think we're talking enough about how much Memphis is going to miss Jaren Jackson Jr. They also got, Ja's not officially ruled in yet either. John Conchar and Scottie Pippen Jr. and Santi Aldama, all of those guys on the injury report as well. So I kind of think OKC gets right, covers the spread, and just scores 135 points in this game.
All right, last game, and this is a straight pass for me. I don't know how you don't bet the Pistons, but I'm not trying to. I mean, everyone's going to be in the world's going to be laying the 4.5 here. No Kawhi Leonard. The Clippers have looked like shit. There's just no reason to try to bet the Clippers, which is why I kind of think the Clippers are going to try to cover. There's no one in the world. Or the Clippers are going to try to cover. It's a reason I think the Clippers might cover this is because no one in the world wants to bet it. I'm not touching this game.
Programming note. So the show's not over after this game or the next game. We are doing college basketball. Just had a little problem with the rendering. So, the up next is not correct today. We do have a ton of college basketball to discuss just after this ball game. So, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
1 second. I'm setting up.
No, I meant anybody.
Okay.
Matt, anything for this game?
Nothing. I didn't bet it. The one look that I like is Malik Beasley 3-pointers. It's high. It's 5+ at +108. It's not really a matchup thing. It's just like a Malik Beasley. He's really just an every other kind of guy. In last game, he shot 3 of 14. Everybody was on him against the Utah Jazz because it was as good of a matchup as you could possibly ask for. But he didn't shoot well. The game before that, he was 5 of 8 from 3. It's like he's an incredibly high volume shooter. And he has games like this. Now, there was a stretch where he hit 5 in 5 of 6 games. Since then, it's been more to the under. Since then, it's been under in 3 of 8, or over in 3 of 8, under in 5 of 8. So I just like this as, again, fade of recent results, positive regression type thing. I didn't bet it. Again, thought there are better plays on the board, but that's where I would go in this game.
Yeah, look at the poll. We're pulling at 90% Pistons. Chris?
I did bet Detroit. I bet them last night though. I got 1.5. So, well, actually, I took the money line when it was -130. So I won't talk too much about that because the line has moved a lot. I will say, Kyle, I don't know if you stayed up and watched that game. I did not, but I had no idea the Suns would come back. And
I
beat
did.
the Clippers
I had the
last
over.
night.
I had the over. So I watched
remember
the
you had the
entire
over,
second half. Yeah.
Yeah. I no need to talk about it. I played Detroit. They've been looking like they've been a covering machine, and they keep catching teams for whatever reason on the second leg of a back-to-back. Like they just caught the Jazz and beat the Jazz up pretty badly. The Clippers are terrible on the back-to-back because Kawhi never plays. Norman Powell is out. Ben Simmons, I'm not sure where they got him. He's not playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. Derrick Jones Jr. is out. So probably now I would look towards the Clippers team total to go under. That's what I would play if I had to play anything here.
Prop Beaver?
Yeah, so I saw Swish to ask if I could start doing some March Madness props when that begins. I mean, the sports that I do watch intently make me question life, so I don't know if I could do March Madness props, but I do appreciate your faith in me. I love that. Thank you. So for this bowl game, we're doing Chris Dunn, 3+ steals. The 2+ steals already moved out of our price range, so we're not going to do that. Still like the 200 plus we're catching for 3+ steals on FanDuel. I mean, this guy's just running hot right now. He's been exceptional in terms of racking up those steals. One of the best pure defenders in the league, in my opinion. And Detroit's been firing on all cylinders as of late, except in one spot. They're still turning the ball over. They're bottom 10 in this area all season, even during this insane hot streak. And shooting guards specifically are doing a ton of damage against Detroit. I mean, if you look at their last 7 games, we've got Chris Dunn with 5 steals himself, Colin Sexton with 3, Dyson Daniels with 4 and 4, and then De'Aaron Fox with 3, all hitting both of our marks. Dunn has cashed 3+ in both of their last 2 matchups, averaging 3.3. And against Detroit, specifically in his career, 20+ minutes, he's hit 2+ in 8 of 10 matchups, being competitive with this line every single time. He's now played 26+ minutes in 8 straight. And now we've got 4 different guys out for the Clips today. I'm expecting that same floor here. He's gone over his last 10 of 20 with 20+ minutes against top 15 offenses and pace. So to be getting a 50% hit rate in that spot at +210, I just think that there's a lot of value here against an offense in the Pistons that, while productive, they do play a bit sloppy. I mean, if you look at Cade Cunningham's box scores a lot of the time, you'll see that he has those 10 assists, but he's also got like 7 turnovers. So I'm rocking with Dunn to get those 3 steals here. He's a gritster. I like that. So he's a gritster.
+200 on the gritster.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some college basketball. We got... there. Oh, no. I thought Moneyline Mac dropped out for a second. We got Moneyline Mac, and then we got Trevor Vandenbosch coming from a car. Toast couldn't make it today, so we got these guys filling in for us. We have the graphics for college basketball set up, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you follow these 2 guys. We're running behind schedule, but you guys know where to find these guys on YouTube. Modi and Chris, thanks for joining.
Appreciate you, Kyle. Best of luck
guys.
tonight, fellas.
See you, gentlemen.
No, I did this thing because somebody called me a tomato. I mean, why we got to do it?
All right, let's switch it over to college basketball. We got look at Trevor, dude.
That looks like a goob. 1 second.
I said to Vandenbosch, I was like, dude, if you can't make it, like, no, we have no Toast today. So obviously we're shorthanded. These guys are filling in, which is these games. I don't know the teams well enough. So these guys are filling in, and we'll put the links to their channels up at the end. So we got Moneyline Mac on the. You put his name Vandy?
Yeah.
All right. So what I did is I picked the 4 biggest regular season games, and then other than that, I pretty much just took the March Madness games. So there's going to be a lot that I can't even comment on, which this first game fits the description. Southern Miss, Georgia Southern, Sun Belt Tournament. Don't know shit about either team. You guys have any interest here? Oh, are you muted, Mac? Nope, can't hear you. Can you hear him?
No, not currently.
Hello? Oh.
All right, I think he's going to rejoin. Yeah, I didn't bet this. I like Georgia Southern, though. Southern Miss came back yesterday and got that done in regulation and won outright. So I think they exerted a lot of effort, back-to-back game. You got a fresh Georgia Southern team. I like Southern here, but I'm not going to lay it. And, yes, I am live in the parking lot.
So you like Georgia Southern, not going to lay it. Mac, can we hear you this time?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
You're good.
Yeah, Trevor and I are both on Georgia Southern. I know we talked about this game last night. I like Georgia Southern's coach, Charlie Henry. He's a Nate Oates guy. year 2. They made a little bit of a run last year. I feel like they are the better basketball team. I think Southern Miss kind of got a fraudulent win last night. Ladner feels like he's on borrowed time. So I'll lay it with Georgia Southern, even though it seems like it's steaming up now.
So someone said Trevor's walkie-talkie bets. Both these guys like Georgia Southern. Let's move on to the next one. And well, I think I'm a Michigan hater. I don't think this team is nearly as good as their record indicates. Maryland's the better team. We're getting 2 points. I don't like Michigan. I'm tempted to bet the Terps here. I guess that would be the quote-unquote square side. I want to be on the Terps. I know Trevor's on Michigan, though, because I heard him talking about it. Mac, are you on Michigan, too?
No, I'm on Maryland, so I'll take, I guess, the square side with you. I think, like you said, the Terps are better, more athletic. I don't really like the matchup for Michigan just because I think the size and athleticism of Queen and Reese can match Wolf and Vlad. So, and I think that Maryland has better guards as well, and I think they're going to be able to turn them over. So I think everybody's banking on a Michigan bounce back, but I just think Michigan's overachieved. Maryland, the better team, needs a game as well. So, yeah, give me the Terps.
Overachieved is the exact word I would use to describe Michigan. Put the Terps up for me, too. I think I'm going to bet this one. I get to fade Trevor and Toast at the same time and root against Michigan. Go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, I think roster-wise, overall, Maryland's better, but coaching-wise, Michigan's got the advantage with Dusty May over Willard. And I know Michigan's been sneaking out some one possession games here, but they're getting it done. Granted, Michigan was hot; they couldn't miss from 3. They finally kind of put it together. We'll see if it continues, but I do kind of like the bounce back spot. Reese and Queen are going to have to go against Vlad and Wolf tonight, so I think that could cause some issues. And Maryland's guards are better, but we're at home. You got a Michigan team that's proven they can get these one possession games and pull them out of their ass. So it would be Michigan money line or nothing for me.
Trevor's audio is hilarious right now.
I know.
Next up.
Sounds like a little kid over there.
I know. I'm clipping a lot of this to use in group chats and shit for the future.
Perfect.
Toast and Trevor both took Alabama last night. And I think that's probably, I would have to agree with them. Florida's sweet, and obviously they're going to score a shitload of points, but how many stops are they going to make? I think we're all expecting an NBA type score here. I think the trend, I forget who was talking about it. It was either Trevor or Toast was saying Alabama off a loss always scores 100 points. I forget who said it. But yeah, I'd lean towards Alabama. I haven't bet it, but I might be down to bet this if you guys are all down.
Yeah, I'm on the Tide. I love the Tide at home. You mentioned it. Anytime they seem to drop a game, the next game back at home, they just make shots at such a high clip. And it's not even – they don't even really need to make them at such a high clip. I just think that they're going to score 100 tonight because of the pace of this game is going to be out of the world. So I think you see a lot of possessions here, and that usually favors Alabama with the pace. So, yeah, give me the Tide. I'll lay the 3.5 now.
Trev?
Yeah, I'm on the Tide. Like Toast said, they always go nuclear scoring-wise after games. And they've covered, other than that Auburn game where they had to hit the road and go to Missouri, they've covered the 3 points every time. I know Florida has been not very profitable this year, but, after that Tennessee game, Nate Oates sitting there with two timeouts in his pocket, let his freshman turn it over onto the baseline, and they lose. I think he comes out, and this whole team comes out firing and pissed off. So I like Alabama with the 3. Dude, I can't even take myself seriously doing it.
I know Trevor's audio is getting roasted in the comments, and it's awesome.
I have the comment on in the background. I'm just laughing my ass off.
Trevor sounds like he's talking through a microwave. So you guys know I took Wagner here. I should have bet it. I didn't bet it. But I don't know anything about this conference or these teams. If you guys remember last year on the show, I took Wagner money line against Merrimack because my friend played football for Wagner, and it hit. And everyone else on the show took Merrimack, so I have a soft spot for Wagner. They came through. It was like a plus 380 money line or something. So they came through for me last year. I'll put Wagner up, but full disclosure, I don't know anything about these teams, so I would listen to what these guys have to say before me.
Yeah, I'm all over Wagner. I'm with you. I had Wagner winning the tournament last year, so I guess I'm biased and I have a soft spot. But you kind of look at the profile of what they did last year at the end under Donald Copeland. They struggled down the stretch just like they did this year. They were preseason number 2 in this league, and they finished 6th. I like it's a breath of fresh air, new start to the season. Hey, we sucked for 16 games or we underachieved. but the roster is clearly pretty good, and that's why they were preseason number 2. They're healthy. I think that they win the game outright tonight, and it's a breath of fresh air and start of a new season. I think they're live to win the tournament, to be honest. Again,
I like that, and that's why I like Wagner. The same reason you did that, because I won a couple bets on him last year at this time. I didn't realize they were preseason number 2 in the conference. I didn't know that.
Yeah, behind Central.
Oh, Central is still number 1, right?
Yeah, they're pretty damn good. They're by far number 1, but yeah.
Yeah, we're about to talk about them in 3 games. Microwave, Trev. What do you think here?
Is the audio better? Apparently, I was talking through my car, not my AirPods.
I mean, it just sounds weird. It's not bad. It's just like funny.
Fair.
Go back to the other one. It was more entertaining.
I'm on St. Francis here. They made me good money. Lost to Wagner twice this year, both by 2. So I think St. Francis gets it done here at home. I noticed it's down to 2.5. So last time I checked, so if I can get a 2, I'll grab St. Francis there.
Fading Wagner in March is not smart, Trevor. But let's go on to the next one. The next one, the Sharks against the Chicago State Pumas? Cougars. One of those predator cats. I don't know shit. Let's let these guys talk.
All right. This has gone too far. This LIU Ponzi scheme. This is ridiculous. I mean, when has LIU ever been laying double digits, yet alone when all the pressure's on them? Chicago State's coach last year is LIU assistant coach. These programs are familiar with one another. They actually split the regular season. And then Chicago State, in the game they lost, had the lead at halftime. I think I'm all over Chicago State, and potentially I would not be surprised if we get a crazy upset here. Because you see it all the time in these tourneys. These teams that overachieve in the regular season, pressure on them, and they just fold in March Madness. So yeah, give me Chicago State and the Cougs, baby.
I like that. I'm adding it because last night on the show, everyone was like LIU when we did the midnight stream. Trev, I believe, was one of these shark people.
I may have been. I'm not sure. Kind of back and forth, but Chicago State. They did split it, but they're fucking terrible. They're terrible, but third time they played each other, I mean, why not? It's a lot of points, but money line. I mean, I'll leave that to money line Mac. That's his specialty. But if I had to, I guess I'll take points, but I'm not touching this game.
All right, next game.
Well, 660, baby. Let's go Chicago State.
Damn. All right, you know what? I'm doing that. That just sounds too much fun not to take. I'm adding that to the list of shit to bet right when I'm done. Fairleigh Dickinson, Stonehill. I believe both you guys, Trevor and Toast, took Stonehill last night, right, Trev?
Yeah, I like Stonehill, but not enough to bet this, even though I'll probably bet St. Francis. But I believe Fairdick beat them twice, or did they split? One of the two. But regardless, Fairdick, a lot of people are liking to be a dark horse in this conference. I think Stonehill's been, all right for NEC standards. So I'd take Stonehill here, but I don't really have a good feel on this. I mean, both these two teams suck, so I'll take the points.
I mean, I should support Fairleigh Dickinson jersey, but Mac?
Way to sell the game there, Trevor. Both these teams suck. Hey, one of them's got a tournament win over Purdue in the last 2 March Madnesses. So
true.
Hey, so Fairdick did sweep Stonehill here in the regular season, both by double digits. Line feels a little short. Give me Stonehill. Third time's a charm that they keep this close.
Yeah, so everyone's picking Stonehill, or everyone as terms of people I've heard from. As far as our poll, it looks pretty split, slightly leaning towards about 50-50. So let's move on to the next one. Another game I can't contribute. UT Martin, Tennessee Tech. I got nothing. What do you guys think?
Oh, I know Trevor's on the same side. I'm all over UT Martin here. First year head coach Jeremy Schulman. He's a JUCO guy, and I think that he's done a pretty good job flipping over this roster. I think that they're playing better and playing hard for him. They lost both games to Tennessee Tech in the regular season in overtime, so they arguably could have won both of them. Now they're laying a point. I think that's telling. Give me Martin, the 8 seed, laying points against the 5 seed.
Trev's on the same thing.
Yeah, completely agree. And if this flips over, I'm going to love UT Martin even more.
Put up Tennessee Tech for me. I don't know. I like the colors. No, I'm not betting. If you can put it up, it's not a big deal.
Lakers.
Yeah, they do look like the Lakers. Let's take a look at Lemoyne. Plus 13.5 against the big dog, highly touted Central Connecticut Blue Devils. No one's going to be betting Lemoyne here, right?
No, I'll take him.
Me too.
I'm not like 13.5 in the NEC tournament. No way.
Lemoyne plus 13.5. Just added it to my list because no one likes it.
Yeah,
I'm assuming this is the 1 seed versus the 8 seed or whatever, right? Like.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Lemoyne. I don't know if I'll bet them, but I mean, if we're all gonna bet it, then fuck it. I'll add it to my card today too. Let's go Dolphins. Too many points. They lose this game by 9.
I feel like if you take like Lemoyne money line, the Chicago State money line, if you take like 3 or 4 of those huge big dogs, if you get one, you're in the green. So I feel like it's just we say it jokingly, like I'll take Lemoyne, but the truth is, if you take all those money lines, like 4 of them, if you hit one, you've made a few dollars. So I don't think it's terrible. Let's move on to the next one.
Madness. It's March Madness. I mean, how many times do we see the 8 beat the 1 or 7 beat the 2? It's not, and it's the NEC. I mean, upsets are going to happen in this crazy league. There's no way this is going chalk, or any of these are going chalk.
Yeah, I like it. What do we got next? SC Upstate. I know Toast is big on Upstate. He's got the money line here, so I can't speak for why he likes Upstate, but I know Toast likes Upstate in this one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm on the same side as Toast here. I think Trevor is as well. Upstate's been a chippy dog this year. I know that they're 6-25 overall, 2-14 in league play, but they've covered some of these bigger numbers. And Marty Richer, first-year head coach, he worked for Darren DeVries. I think that they've gotten better throughout the year. So I like taking first-year head coaches this time of year. They're trending in the right direction going into year number 2 in a rebuild job.
Trev, you're on Upstate as well?
Yeah, Upstate's actually my biggest bet of the day. I believe they Gardner Webb swept them this year. I believe I could be wrong there, but so they did. And then Upstate also has played in this arena. This is at East Tennessee State. Upstate played East Tennessee State in a non-con game there, so they're already a little familiar with this building. I think that, and it's that gross 5.5 number. I know you talk, it's just ghost bullshit.
Yo, you guys are freaks with this fake 5.5 shit. All 3 of you two, Toast, have like this 5.5, like say ghost stories. I kind of want to take Gardner Webb just to show you that this shit is not real. This 5.5 lore that you're creating.
Trevor got it from me. I think I go, oh no, 5.5. I hate this number,
yeah.
Bro. Every single college basketball,
2-3 years ago.
Every college basketball person is scared of 5.5. Like, put Gardner Webb up, man. I'm not scared of 5.5. No, I don't know shit, but you can put Gardner Webb up for me. All right, let's move on to the next game. Finally, a game that features teams that I've watched play. Missouri, Oklahoma. I mean, I feel like you got to go Oklahoma here. I don't think Missouri's nearly as good as their record indicates, and they've been overvalued several times this year. We've seen Oklahoma win a couple of these sneaky games as home dogs. You can put Sooners up for me. Pretty sure Toast and Trevor like the Sooners as well, right, Trev? Did we just lose Trevor?
No, the Asian massage parlor got him, it looks like. According to the chat. He's over there with Justin Tucker and Deshaun Watson.
Look at his face froze, too.
I'm on Oklahoma. You kind of look at it when they lose home games. They seem to be 1 to 2 possession games. Porter Moser, they do a good job of controlling pace here. And Missouri hasn't been the same team on the road recently. And I'm not calling the SEC rigged, but I'm going to say these bubble teams seem to, whenever they need a game like blood in the SEC, find a way, get a nice whistle here. Maybe Sankey's making a couple calls that they want to get as many at-larges into that big dance. So, yeah, give me Oklahoma. I actually think they're going to win the game outright.
I've seen a lot of these like sneaky short home dogs. I feel like they always come through like the Notre Dame plus 1.5s. You know what I'm saying? Like these sneaky home conference dogs have come through. And this is speaking strictly from perception. I don't have data on it, but I feel like they've come through a lot. In the next game, the next game's interesting because if you guys remember earlier in the year, I took UConn money line at Marquette, and it was like plus 240. It was an awesome one. They went up like 20 immediately. and the speech I gave was Marquette's UConn's little brother in the Big East, and I went on like a rant about it, and it hit. It was awesome. So I should be laying 3.5 here, but I think Marquette's going to get him. Is this game in Stores or in Hartford? I got to look.
Good question. I think this one
Stores.
All right, so
because Gamble gets pretty loud. The Hartford place I don't like as much. I went to UConn, so Gamble is some serious shit that gets loud in there. I still think Marquette's going to get him. What do you think?
I agree. And you mentioned, I mean, UConn has, slapped them recently. I mean, they've been owning them. I think they beat them 4 or 5 in a row now. But I've always liked taking Shaka as an underdog. I don't like taking him as a favorite. He's one of like the coaches I like to fade as a favorite. But when I see a plus number or plus sign in front of a number, I'm all over Shaka. And another trend I like, I mean, Marquette was laying 7 or 8 a couple weeks ago in Milwaukee. Now they're getting 3. I feel like this is an overreaction to the number. So yeah, give me Marquette, and I think they're going to win. I actually think that they're going to get that 3 or 2 seed. I think they're the better roster. Hurley's done a good job. I just don't like the roster this year.
Yeah, and I know that if you go back to the first game, someone could clip that and make me look hypocritical because I was like, UConn is their older brother, and I don't really know how to explain why I've switched over. I think Marquette does win this game, though. Trev is back. Trev, Marquette, UConn in Stores.
All right, are we back?
Marquette, UConn, Trev.
I can't. God, this. I can't hear Kyle. I can hear Mac though.
Go ahead. Go
ahead.
Go?
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later.
Oh, I meant.
Wait, what? I can't hear Kyle. It says Kyle's muted.
Mac, tell him to give his pick.
Oh, gotcha. Backing in.
Give your speech.
Oh, he's. All right.
He's on Marquette. He's from the state of Wisconsin, so that's his handicap. You can pretty much predict which side Trevor's going to be on usually.
Yeah. Speaking of I left the Minnesota-Wisconsin game out. That's right. We got 2 games left. We're going back to the Sun Belt tournament here. Louisiana, Old Dominion. I mean, I love Sun Belt football, Sun Belt basketball. I couldn't tell you a damn thing. So I'm all ears, Mac.
I like Louisiana. I think this is another team. I think they were preseason 5 or 6 in the Sun Belt. They underachieved. Bob Marlin got fired midway through the year, but they've actually rallied for the most part. ODU's been up and down. I think Louisiana has the better roster, so I'm getting points. So yeah, give me the Raging Cajuns here. And they've already had a game to play, used to the arena, and let's get a Fun Belt upset here.
So what would the seeds be for the Sun Belt tournament? You know what? I'll pull up the bracket.
This is 13 and 12, maybe. No.
Oh, okay. So this is one of those multi-tiered brackets.
Yeah. So this is 11 and 10, I think.
So the top teams in the Sun Belt are South Alabama and James Madison. They don't play till Sunday. Okay.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest bracket ever.
It's great. There's so many tiers to that shit. Trav, do you agree with the Cajuns? And can you even hear me?
Yes, we're good now. Everything's all good. I believe I like Louisiana. I did not look much have a good, strong feel on this game, but Louisiana, getting a win yesterday, coming back. A nice win over an in-state rival, too. I think they have a little momentum going, and they can get this one done, too.
All right, last game on the board. What the hell conference is Morehead State?
OVC, baby.
Oh, Ohio Valley. Right. So I think it was what Trevor said last night, and he said that we're getting a good price on Lindenwood because Morehead State always seems to win this conference. So people that are the more casual college basketball people will see Morehead State and be like, oh, I know this team. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It resonated with me. Lindenwood for me. Obviously, I don't know shit, but I thought that was a good point.
Yeah, I agree with Trevor. Lindenwood, I think, is the better basketball team, and Morehead, like you said, whether it's the Kenneth Faried days 15 years ago or Johnny Broom, who's at Auburn, started his career at Morehead, and they've had some really dominant teams. But this is just not the same traditional Morehead. Jonathan Maddox at his first year, they've stumbled down the stretch. I like Lindenwood here to get it done here. I like better coach team.
Yeah, I'm going to add this one. And I know Trevor's on Lindenwood too.
Yep. Yeah, first-year head coach. You know, he's got to get adjusted yet. So let's go penitentiary. Let's get it done.
Let's go penitentiary. All right, that's the last game I have on the board. Let me share the College Experience YouTube channel link in here because Max stepping in here and Trevor taking a second off of work to come here really hooked us up. We wouldn't have been able to go through college basketball if they didn't do that. So make sure you give these guys a follow. They have a late night show and a pregame show. The late night show will be on for 4 hours. So if you're somebody that's up late like me, it's a perfect thing to put on because they're bullshitting, joking around. They'll recap the entire night and then go through the next slate. And then they do a pregame show, which is actually starting in a few minutes, right, Mac?
Yeah, 6 o'clock Eastern, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, so I put the link in there for that. And, I mean, I think you guys know the Pump Fake show already because Trevor is always here at midnight. But for those of you who don't already subscribe to that, there's the link for that one as well. Appreciate you guys coming on. Let's have ourselves a good one. Mac will be back tomorrow and Friday. He's helping us out for the March Madness rush. So I will see you guys. Trevor, I'll see you at midnight. Mac, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Sauce.
Hey, guys.
All right, let's do an Underdog fantasy courtesy of Prop Beaver.
Yes, sir. All right, let's load this thing up.
Have you hit Underdog?
Yeah,
He goes,
it was 1942.
so you haven't hit one?
Yeah. Poland was still part of the Union. No, I have no clue. Yeah, it's been a while. I'll say this: it's been a while. I was definitely hot when the Underdogs were hitting, so that was definitely more than 2 weeks ago. But yeah, no, I have not hit one in a while. Let's say
but
that.
you hit them in bunches because when you hit one, you hit like five or six.
I'm a very streaky bettor, is what I've come to realize. When I'm hot, I'm hot. When I'm cold, oh my lord, get the hell out of the way. So let's see if I'm heating up again. I hit a D'Angelo Russell play last night. That was my first Green Day in a bit. Let's see if we can catch some momentum here. So we got Kyle Filipowski, higher than 13.5 rebounds and assists. Obviously mentioned that one earlier, locked that one in. And then we got Evan Mobley, who, as I mentioned earlier, still waiting to see if we get some random injury reports from Cleveland. But if everybody's going like they state, like on the injury report right now, I do like that Evan Mobley lower than 17.5 points. The Underdog promo of the day should be LeBron higher than a half total point. So whenever LeBron next steps on the court, you could either replace the legs that I provided or add on that leg for an extra high payout.
I just emailed you the league standings too to put up real quick. Someone asked how the league's going. We should put that up.
Oh, sensational. Yes. And if you're not part of the Underdog community yet, you can join so in one of these lovely yellow states. Just using that promo code BET can get a deposit match up to $1,000 as always. So let's go ahead and let's look at the league standings.
So that's, the BET is the promo code for those of you that want to create an Underdog fantasy account. So bonus, you get a deposit bonus up to $1,000 with that.
Let's see. Okay,
so Propiers bring the league standings up. Let me pull it up. I made some ground back in the Toyota Supra division. Is it on the screen yet? There we go.
Boom.
So in Bible study, we got Big Papa has taken a lead. Jedi Master is in second. You got Charles Selman and Tinker, third and fourth. Some familiar faces. Jess is winning. Our very own Sauce Network's very own Jess is winning the Papa Roach division, followed by Sober Bets and B Grebs. Chia Bets is up there as well. In the Indonesia division, we got Sammy the Worm, Waldo Mack, Chase, Edwin, a lot of battles. Cloud Panama, Bustin' Gritty, who has made the playoffs a lot, Bustin' Gritty. I don't think he's ever won, but he's made the playoffs a lot. Him, Cozy, and Van Bosch is about 4 units back, but it's a two-man race in Cloud Panama. Toyota Supra, we got two guys up top. Let Me Win an OT. Yellow Submarine, Nas, Scoop, and Sideshow. So, yeah, a lot of battles going on in the league. If you're in the league and you want to submit your picks, you have 1 hour and 51 minutes to do so. Let's have a good one. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all at midnight.
Later. Something to keep a note of: Sober Bets and We Love Drugs.